What's a short, clean joke that gets a laugh every time? A blind man walks into a bar, and a table, and a chair. I didn't see that coming. What do you call a dog that does magic tricks? A labracadabrador. Forever regretting the E I put on the end of my name. Just tell people you're Dumbledore's dog. I found a job helping one-armed typist do capital letters. It's shift work. This reminds me of the joke about the zoo that's so broke it only has one animal, a dog. It's a Shih Tzu. How many opticians does it take to change a light bulb? 1 or 2? How many Freudian fissure analysts does it take to change a light bulb? 2. 1 to change the light bulb and 1 to hold the penis. Ladder. How many psychologists does it take to change a light bulb? Only 1, but the light bulb really has to want to change. What do the movies Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common? I see dead people. Reminds me a bit of Dara O'Brien. Oh, Avatar, it picks up where Titanic left off, in as much as half the cast are blue. All sort of works for the start of Avatar, The Last Airbender. 2 clowns are eating a cannibal. One turns to the other and says, I think we got this joke wrong. The chief of a cannibal tribe is talking to his prisoner as he warms up his cooking pot. He asks the prisoner about his occupation, and the prisoner informs him he was an editor for a newspaper. In that case, I have good news, the chief says. You are soon to be editor-in-chief. 2 cannibals are eating a clown. One turns to the other and says, Does this taste funny to you? What's E.T. short for? He's only got little legs. What does E.T. stand for? Someone stole his chair. Follow up to that joke. What does E.T. stand for? The national anthem. I used to be addicted to soap, but now I'm clean. People say I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop anytime I want. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around. So what if I don't know what Armageddon means? It's not the end of the world. Stuart Francis slightly adjusted it to, I misspelled Armageddon. Wasn't the end of the word. Have you heard about those new corduroy pillows? They're making headlines. Did you hear about the invention of the wheel? They say it started a revolution, but it was the invention of the broom that really swept the nation. I bought the world's worst thesaurus yesterday. Not only is it terrible, it's terrible. To the guy who stole my MS Office, I will find you, you have my word. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. What's loud and sounds like an apple? An apple. What's brown and sticky? A stick. How do you tell the gender of an ant? Put it in a glass of water. If it sinks, it's a girl ant. If it floats, it's boy ant. A dyslexic man walks into a bra. If life gives you melons, you probably have dyslexia. If you have a bar, you'll need lemons. If you have melons, you'll need a bra. I poured root beer in a square glass. Now I just have beer. I'd save a lot of money if this actually worked. What's the difference between a BMW and a porcupine? A porcupine has pricks on the outside. If you feel like you are wasting your life doing a meaningless job day after day after day, just think, someone is installing BMW turn signals right now. Oh wow, I'm glad I sorted by top posts of the month and found this gem. 2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Safety. Safety always comes first. Safety is number 1 priority. My friend asked me to help him round up his 37 sheep. I said 40. A math joke. Ballsy. Noah told all the animals to go forth and multiply. 2 snakes came up to him and said, We can't, we're adders. So Noah built them a log table. The police arrested 2 suspicious men in a car park today. One was drinking battery acid and the other was eating fireworks. They charged one and let the other one off. Did you hear about the 2 guys that stole a calendar? They both got 6 months. A man walks into a bar carrying a set of jumper cables. The bouncer looks at him and says, You'd better not start anything. What do you call a black man flying a plane? A pilot, you racist. I made a black guy laugh with this, so it must be okay. My dad tried to tell this joke and I ruined it. He asked me and I said, a pilot? And he just stared at me deflated. Sorry, Dad. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? This is Sean Connery. Knock, knock. Who's there? Who? Who? Oh, an owl. Knock, knock. Who's there? Owls. Owls who? Why, yes, they do. I think a Redditor's daughter came up with this, but I always find it amusing. Why did a chicken cross the road? To get to the ugly guy's house. Knock, knock. Who's there? The chicken. My son told me one like this. It is heavy dependent on timing and verbal delivery, and works best if people are already telling chicken crossing the road and knock knocks. Here goes. Why did a chicken cross the road? To get to your house. Pause enough to let people think, oh, okay, like it's just a bad joke, then continued with, knock, knock. Who's there? Low voice filled with dread and a face to go with it. The chicken. The pause almost convinces them you've moved on to the next joke, so you end up getting some of the element of surprise back. What's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. This reminds me of my favorite line from the end of Disney's Robin Hood, where King Richard states, Friar Tuck, it appears that I now have an outlaw for an in-law. Now I'll have the whistling tune stuck in my head all day, and I'm not mad. When I put that movie on for my nephew, 30 years after I apparently watched it all the time, I still knew every line, lyric, everything. I bought my friend an elephant for his room. He said, thanks. I said, don't mention it. Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they are really good at it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Amish. Amish who? You're not a shoe. Knock, knock. Who's there? I eat mop. I eat mop who? Knock, knock. Who's there? Europe. Europe who? No, Europe who? Kids and juvenile adults love this if you sound sufficiently indignant on the last line. How did a hipster burn his mouth? He ate the pizza before it was cool. How many hipsters does it take to change a light bulb? It's a pretty obscure number. You've probably never heard of it. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does a hipster buy its album? Question. Why do cows have hooves instead of feet? Answer. They lack toes. Actually, the hooves are their toenails. They do have toes. They don't have heels. My girlfriend asked if I would stop listening to Oasis. I said maybe. My girlfriend is strange. She starts every sentence with, are you even listening? My wife thinks I'm nosy. At least that's what she scribbles in her diary. How do you talk to dead Italians? With a Luigi board. What do you get if you drop a French fry on a Danish? The Siege of Paris. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for fresh prints. I think this would be better if you said, for the fresh prints. Still funny.